So I was just thinking to myself on how like how important like daily affirmations are, you know. And reason being is because, you know, this whole week, I won't lie, hasn't necessarily been the best for myself. Okay, let me actually say the last 2 weeks, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it's been because like I wake up and don't really set like a goal, like not an objective, but like how my day is gonna go, basically, you know. Saying to myself that I'm going to have a good day, just affirming that at the beginning of the day.
Yeah.
Already like going with that type of energy, you know, knowing that like I'm going to conquer today and not like let the day conquer me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know? And I feel like without saying that type of stuff, you kind of just like
Set yourself up, basically.
set yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
And when hard things happen in your day, you know, I don't know, for example, you don't even have a plan of how your day's gonna go, whatever, and shit just keeps on putting you down, you know. Maybe you have certain expectations or things are just genuinely not going your way, and I guess it gets to you easily because you don't have anything to kind of look forward to, you know. Like regardless of me going through something, if I said to myself at the beginning of the day, like, I'm gonna have a good day today regardless of what happens to me, I don't care if like, I don't know, I wanted it to be sunny today and it's raining, or you know, I wanted to do this and it didn't turn out that way, I'm still going to like not let that ruin how I feel. And I think setting that, like affirming that in your mind is really powerful because like our mind really dictates like how we move as humans, you know. Like it really like dictates how we control ourselves and everything, and if we're gonna let like small things or big things like control how we move in a day. So kind of like affirming that at the beginning, saying like I'm gonna have a good day today. I don't know, even like the self-love, saying that you're handsome or whatever, and niggas might call that corny, but that's where it starts, of where like self-love, where you look at yourself in the mirror, saying that like, you know, you appreciate this about yourself, you're gonna have a good day, you're confident, you're this, you're that, because you're already moving with that, like knowing that's who you are. You know. So
what I do, actually, because you're speaking about like setting up your day in a sense. I've started like, so like before I sleep, I'd say like everything that I want to do the next day, like throughout the day. And I try also, another thing actually I'm trying to learn is to do things and like to do things with no feeling, not worrying about my feeling. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So basically, if I say I'm gonna do something, I must do it. You know, if I've set myself up, unless like if it's something that's like doesn't make sense to do at the time, of course then yeah, I'm not gonna do it. But if like I'm like, yo, I'm just tired or feel lazy, I don't want to let feelings get in the way of me doing what I'm supposed to actually be doing.
Of course.
So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been like, I write down what I'm gonna do during the day, the following day, what I want to do, just so I have some sort of direction as well in my day. Because when you don't have direction in your day, then it just
goes all over the place.
It goes all over the place, and you start doing things that you don't even want to do. You know. So yeah, bro.
Oh, that's powerful though, like being able to just like complete a task regardless of like how you're feeling. Like, I used to feel that way about the gym, you know. I always used to say this shit, but like being at a place of where you can wake up and go to the gym on a really bad day is a fucking huge accomplishment.
True,
like for real, it really is, because like the gym for me was like the eye opener of where you, like those are one of the tasks in my day that was difficult, you know. And I think like for a person who wants to grow, it's important to like have a difficult task every day that you do, that you don't want to do, you don't feel like doing it, and it's not necessarily like something, yeah, it doesn't make you feel good, but you know it's good for you type of thing, you know.
What's something that you do then that's like a difficult task because you haven't been at the gym as of late?
I think just doing 100 push-ups. You know, because of course, like you said, I haven't been out there in a minute, but I think just like saying to myself that like I'm gonna complete 100 push-ups a day, and call it that, you know.
Yeah.
It's studying, but that itself is like mandatory.
There's no option there, bro.
It's mandatory. Like,
you have to, yeah.
Like, yeah, you know. Like, I'd say that because, yeah, it's definitely grown me as a human being. Because even in our own personal life, where like we go through a lot of shit, where we can't control a lot of things, and we have to get shit done regardless of how we feel. We get it done. Like, whatever state we're in. I mean, last night, you know, we shot our vlog that's coming out soon, and I mean, all of us were in all types of states, but at the end of the day,
we filmed the video,
get it on Friday, you know.
Yeah,
like, that's just what it is. So yeah, it's really important to know that you can just complete a task regardless of like how you're feeling. So yeah, it's powerful.
No, like I've literally lost the thought. It's gone. Yeah, no. I don't hold on to these thoughts, bro. I think also one thing I've learned with my mind, because I think of like 20,000 things a day. Like, unless that thing is like really deep to me, I don't really hold on to thoughts. I just let them go. There's even times where, like, for music, I get ideas for things, and you know, if I have the means to write it down, then I will. But like, if I don't, I just let it go. And I've let go of like really good ideas too. You know, like I don't really attach anything to it.
I get you though.
Yeah.
That happens with me too. Just kind of like letting the idea just flow through you, dog. And it just, like, if it comes to you, it comes to you. If it doesn't, then it's gone. Yeah.
And even sometimes I feel like I want to hold on to this thing. But like when I do that, then I try to like go back to it later. It's not the same.
Yeah.
You know? Like, let's say like I created like a riff to play, but like I was thinking of it in my head. Then like 2 hours later, I'm actually with my guitar and I'm trying to play it. I don't know how to play it the same. You know, like it's like the idea of it is there, but it's not the same as when I first came up with it. You know, because also like these things have like a lifespan. You know, there's only a certain amount of time that this thought will be real and alive, and then after that you're like holding on to a fantasy. You know, like the thing has passed.
Yeah.
You know? Like it's gone now. So if you're holding on to, it's not really there. It's not real.
I think like we've also like experienced that with a couple of ideas that we've had that, you know, in the moment it like that was the one, and that was the one that was gonna like put us out there. For example, like the press conference, you know, that was gonna be the most and we had such high expectations, you know? Bro, and it was gonna be the one that just branches us out and just like it starts everything. And then of course, like when that doesn't necessarily work out and then it doesn't go the way we want it to, at least we also were smart enough to also let go of the idea, you know, and not let it like control us. Because a lot of people, I mean, even, you know, if some people blow up, you'll see that, like, I don't know, there's some people who blow up and they keep the same idea and they just repeat it until people just eventually get tired, you know. And there's people who are like able to, you know, capitalize on one idea and still be able to like be like, okay, I did that, it's on to the next one, what's the next idea, and switch it up, instead of like trying to like hold on to this moment and like keep it there, try and milk it as much as possible, instead of just letting it be like, okay, I did that shit, it's done, what's on to the next, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I also feel like this whole thing can be applied to like other types of life, like people, you know, like how a person can be right in the moment, but then as time passes, you know, you realize like this isn't like really the situation that you thought it was, you know. Then you also realize like that's also like a point where you have to let go of a person. As much as like it's nice being around that person, it's not what it was before.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like that's how like you can drift apart with friends. You know, like how at the beginning, you know, you in fact, not even that you thought you were like all connected, aligned, but over time that changed. You know, and the thing that had you together was the fact that you're connected and aligned. So once that thing is gone, you know, still trying to be friends. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no. Oh, damn. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a
Shit.
lot of people can. Sorry.
What the fuck?
I think a lot of people can relate to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Nah, 100%.
So at that point now, to try and be friends and hold on to something that isn't there doesn't make sense. So you just gotta let it go.
Yeah,
Cause yeah, man. Hey, people come and go, man.
for real.
This is how life is.
That's true.
Have you ever like had to outgrow like a homie or like a person from your life?
Yeah, yes. It wasn't really me. Okay, how do I say this? For my experience with that, with like losing like, connections, because like for me, my big thing was I was linked with a lot of people through school, and now I'm out of school.
Yeah.
So, number one, that was as Lando was saying, it's something that's pushing, that keeps you guys together. If that goes away, it doesn't really make sense. But in some cases, you actually become on a deep relationship with, or you have a deep relationship with someone, and yeah, sometimes there's a case where you do stay friends, of course. But I have outgrown a lot of my friendship. I don't know. I had my perspective changed once I was out of that circle. That's what had happened.
Saw things differently.
Yeah, of how people act. You know, and yeah, for me, I just decided to distance myself from other people. The energy for me just wasn't, because that was a big thing. I think also I didn't realize how much like their energy would affect me, type of thing, in the moment at that present time. But once I was out of that circle and out of that, you know, like negativity in general, I saw it only, and realized what was actually going on, you know. So I did outgrow friendships, definitely.
And do you think that like benefited you?
Bro, 100%. I don't think I would be like where I'm at today, definitely,
Without that happening.
Yeah, without like me taking a step back,
Of course.
and looking at it from a different perspective as well. If I hadn't, I think I'd be the same person, which was not the best person.
I get you.
Yeah,
100%.
I've tried to like let go. I've literally tried to separate who I was before like that period. Like it's actually just in like school time and who I am now. You know, I'm trying to, even in my own head, be like, yo, I'm different now, because I didn't like who I was. You know, as a person, I didn't like how I used to treat people. You know, and that was just because of everyone I was around. And
I get you.
yeah,
you know,
bro.
like the way I see it, bro. Like, I understand that you said that you don't like the version that you were before.
Yeah.
But I feel like you need to like even have compassion for like the person that you were at the time. You know, because you wouldn't be where you are without that person, if that makes sense.
True. Yeah.
I don't think you would be able to see like the situation you're in,
Yeah.
like you said, without getting out of it. So it's like, I understand 100% why you would feel that way, you know, because we've spoken about it so many times. But I also know that like you were put in like a circumstance where you're in a system where like it was kind of bound to happen. Like,
Yeah.
I think the way that like, and we're not gonna speak about the school, but like the way that the system of that school is from when you're young until when you matriculate.
Yeah.
That is a situation that you are like
Put
kind
in,
of
yeah.
destined to be in, if that makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
The whole like dissing of each other. I know that environment too well, you know, like it's a school full of niggas. Just
Yeah.
gents. Like that's it's gonna be like
Yeah,
that.
it's gonna be
and,
like
and
that.
feelings are gonna get hurt, and
Yeah.
you know, people are going to be insensitive sometimes,
Yeah.
and just move that way. But again, I think like you also took a very big step for yourself in terms of like growing out of that and just maturing and seeing like the other side of the situation, you know.
Yeah.
And I guess like in your lights, from it being like a negative situation and you like changing into a positive one
Yeah, yeah.
for yourself, because even like we all see that like your energy, not even like your actions, but your energy is different out of that, bruh. You know, like I just remember every time this nigga used to come back from school on like a Sunday or Saturday, no energy, like tired as fuck.
And I'd never know why. I remember like Lando would always ask me, bro, like, why are you so tired?
Yeah.
And I wasn't able to give him an answer, bro, because it wasn't like I don't know why I'd be tired, because I slept enough hours at night. I'd played sports, but the tiredness I was like ridiculous. And then over time I'd figured out what it was. It was mentally I was drained. I wasn't physically.
I was about to say, literally, for real.
So I learned that, bro. It was mentally, bro. I was drained, dog. And what I wanted to say actually is that a lot of shit in life happens to you, or it happens for you.
Yeah.
You know, it's to help you for something that's coming for you, I guess. You know, preparing you for something in some sort of way.
Yeah.
Because without all of that shit that I experienced before, you know, in my life, in a sense, I wouldn't be in this position I am in right now, type of thing. So yeah, shit happens, bro. And
that's one.
You just need to look at it from a different perspective. Yeah.
Okay. The love worth keeping is not easy to have. So, in other words, it shouldn't be easy to find someone worth loving. And it shouldn't be easy to keep them around. Because love is a very hard thing to go through. Good love, you know. The love that nurtures you and helps you grow. It isn't an easy thing to manage. So yeah.
Shit. Give me goosebumps, G.
For real. This has been a cozy episode with Night Talks. Bless.
Imagine like now I'm just not gonna, cause I'm editing, so I'm not gonna cut
So
it.
then we're just gonna like prolong.
And this can be zoomed in on your face. It's gonna be zoomed in on your face. Okay, now it's actually gonna cut though.
Just click out, guys. Don't worry. Like, you don't have to watch anymore. I'm leaving.
You leaving?
Yeah, no.
Where you going?
I have to go pick up my kids.
What?
Kindergarten, bro.
What? Hey.